Welcome to Parenting911, the lived experience podcast where real parents share real stories.
All right. Hello. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Parenting 911 Lived Experience podcast, where we talk about real life as parents and grandparents. We talk about all that we're juggling in life, and still we're trying to do our very best for our children. Sometimes, all of us make mistakes or make the wrong decision, make the wrong choices. However, we all have to realize that we make wrong decisions. Let's get them right. We don't have to keep making them. Sometimes we don't want to listen, to anybody. We've got to listen to somebody at some point. Come on now. So, on today, I want to welcome you. Thank you for joining. Some of you have joined before. Some of you have subscribed and liked. Some of you, this is your first time coming across it, or maybe you've heard about it from someone. So I am Frizzell Malin. I am the Parenting 911 CEO and your host here. So today we are talking about discipline without yelling. I know. Yeah, some of us didn't even know that existed, right? Like, what? What are we talking about? Yeah, it does exist. It does exist. So now think about when you give your child a directive. You've told them to do something like turn off the game or clean their room or whatever, put their shoes away, wash the dishes, whatever that directive is. And then they stare directly at you when you say it. I mean, they look you in the eye. What do you think is going through their mind at the moment? Now, some of us immediately jump to the conclusion of, oh, they are so bad. No, that may not be the case. Some of us think they are so defiant. They just don't want to do what I tell them to do. That may not be the case either, because we have to understand children are developing, their minds are developing, their personalities are developing, the psychology of it all is developing. And children love to test boundaries. Even the shyest, quietest one sometimes is still going to test boundaries. They honestly want to see, do you mean what you said? I mean, do you really want me to put my shoes up right now? Do you really want me to stop playing my game? I mean, really? So they're testing boundaries. Now, as parents, as the adults, grandparents, foster parents, step parents, as the adults, we have to understand also that many times we may have unintentionally trained our children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, what have you, to not do what we say. So now we've got to pull all of this together, okay? When you give a child 10 chances, 15 chances, 20 chances to do what you've told them to do, you've actually unintentionally taught them not to do what you say, because they know that there is no follow through. They know that nothing is going to happen. You're just going to keep saying, okay, didn't I tell you to put your shoes away? Okay, now, don't let me have to keep saying it. I know you heard me. Wait 1 minute. I've got to say it again. Why do I have to keep saying? And we keep going on and on and on. And the children know that's all we're going to do. Now, I've worked with some children some families, and the child will say, all she does is fuss. I can handle that. She's just gonna fuss. And so they keep doing whatever they're doing. They've even tuned out all the fussing, all the chatter, because they know there is no follow through. Now in Parenting 911, we call this the leadership test, because the truth is the child is trying to see who has the power. Do I have the power, or do you have the power, mama or daddy or grandparent? So they look you straight in the eye to see, do you really mean it? Are you going to do anything? Is this just like the last time? Sometimes what we do is we'll give them 3 opportunities, maybe 4 or 5. Then we start yelling. All right. Or then we start using profanity. I remember hearing statements years ago. I don't really know if I was a child when I heard these, or maybe a young adult, where people would say, honey, the only language they understand is me cussing them out. No, that's the language you've taught them. That's the language you've taught them. So what they do then, they wait for you to repeat what you said 3 times, 4 times, maybe 5. And then they know the next thing that's going to happen is you start screaming and yelling at them, or you start cursing at them, using profanity, or you start threatening them. And usually they're idle threats. Now, understand the children are observant. They are observant. They are listening. They are watching. They are thinking about what happened the last time. They are looking for a consistent pattern. They know us. Do you understand? And so they easily know whether or not we normally follow through or not. So when they stop, we give them a directive and they stop and look us in the eye. What's going through their mind would be things like, does she really mean it? Does he mean it? Are they going to do anything? Let me look. Let me see. No, she doesn't mean it. Because see, they're thinking about the pattern that you, the adult, have already established. I coach people, train parents. Make sure that you only say what you mean and what you can follow through with, not emotions. Take the emotions out of it, you know, how angry you are. And so we make sure we talk about, once you get angry, pull yourself out of the situation for a few moments so you can calm down. Once you are calm, did you mean what you just said? Because the children are looking for the follow through. This is a process. This is a process, and they are learning you and how you work. Are you just going to keep repeating things? And then they keep doing what they're doing. Let me tell you. Here's an example. Have you ever watched a parent or grandparent interact, let's just say out in the public, and the adult says, don't do that. And the child does it and keeps doing it, and nothing happens. There is no follow through, no consequences at all. So the child has learned that nothing is going to happen, so why should they even listen? Why should they listen to the adult? Nothing is going to happen. We unintentionally train them many times not to listen to us, not to trust what we say. We unintentionally train them that there are no follow throughs. There will not be a consequence. That what we're doing is just talking, it's just hot air. We're just blowing off steam. We're going to curse them out or yell, get loud. I've been in the store many times, and the parent or the adult with the child then starts yelling like for the whole store to hear. Why? Because there is no follow through. Come on now. So children are waiting to see who is the leader. This is that power struggle. If I hold out long enough, I'm going to get what I want. I'm going to be able to keep doing whatever. I'm going to be able to not worry about putting my shoes up or washing the dishes or doing whatever you just said if I hold out long enough, because it's a power struggle. It's a leadership test to see, are you the leader, mama, daddy, grandma, papa, what, or am I the leader? So they're trying to hold out. For some of them, if they get us upset enough, guess what we'll say? Oh, forget it then. You just want to have your way. You just gave it to them. Come on now. So we have to make sure we understand that this is a process. They are watching and listening and trying to see what we're going to do. Now, when our oldest was young, and I started this from the beginning, I did not say a whole lot of words. Now, she and I would talk and laugh, but when it came to me giving a directive, I didn't say a whole lot of words. She didn't need a lecture for the directive. She just needed she needed clear instructions. Whether it was one thing or two or three, clear instructions. And then I had to be consistent about what would follow if she chose not to. A consequence of some sort. Usually a consequence that went along with whatever she chose to do or not do. All right. So let's just use washing dishes. So if she chose not to wash dishes when I asked, or when the time was set on the schedule for her to wash dishes, then now not only does she have to wash dishes today, she's going to wash dishes tomorrow. Or she may have to wash dishes the rest of the week. Okay? So consequences will come. To the point, I've heard her as an adult, because now she has adult children. She would say, every word that my mom said, I trusted her. I believed it. I believed it. If she said she was going to do that, she believed that I was going to do it. That was me being consistent. So listen, parents, don't say it if you don't mean it, and don't say what you cannot follow through. Now, I have to add that part because, yeah, I know when we get upset, we mean, I'm going to knock your head off. We kind of mean that thing in anger, but you know good and well you're not. You understand? So don't say things that are idle threats. You're just blowing off all that hot air. Say what you mean and be able to follow through. Don't say, okay, you're not going to that party today if you do blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as somebody calls and say, girl, I'm coming by to pick her up. She ready yet? Yeah, I guess I'll let her know. I guess I'll let her go. Didn't you just say she wasn't going because she did something wrong? And so we unintentionally teach our children that what we're saying doesn't really matter, doesn't hold any grit to it. So then that means they are the ones still leading. This is the leadership test. Make sure what you say you mean, and make sure that you can follow through with what you say. Or if not, you're unintentionally training your children to disobey you. You're teaching them that consistently because that's the process that you're using. So here is something I'm going to ask that you try. Let me pull up something for me right now. This is what I want you to try. First of all, stop yelling. Nobody's even listening. Nobody's listening. They're not listening. They just tune you out, just like you tune people out when they're yelling at you. So stop the yelling, because if you're yelling, they're waiting for you to do that because they know once you get tired of yelling or whatever, guess what? Then you're gonna huff and puff and go somewhere and sit down and grab your phone, and you might be mumbling under your breath and so stupid, just like you blah blah. You're doing all of that, and the children have won. They passed the leadership test and you failed it. So first of all, don't yell. Don't yell. If you feel the yell coming up, turn around, walk away, say, give me 1 minute, I'll be right back. Go yell in the pillow or something. Get it out of your system. Now come back and have a conversation. Make an executive decision. You are the supervisor in your house. You are that executive. You have to make an executive decision. Guess what? The executives of this world, they don't have to scream, yell, they don't have to curse, none of that. They say what they mean and they follow through with it. That's all you need to do with your children. Say less, follow through more. Remember that. Say less, follow through more. Give clear instructions. Maintain your eye contact. If they look back at you and then maintain your eye contact like this. Because they're waiting to see if you're going to follow through with it, whatever it is. State the consequence calmly. I coach parents all the time. I teach them how to create a consequence chart so that they don't parent impulsively. So state the consequence calmly. I used to ask the question, do you want a consequence, a negative consequence to follow? And I'm still looking at her. And she would say, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. That means in this leadership test, I'm the executive. I'm not going to change because you're throwing a tantrum. I'm not going to change because you look at me in the eye and what? That's supposed to make me scared? No. The boundaries are I've asked you to do something. I'm expecting you to do it within whatever time frame I've given you. That's for the teenagers especially. Give them a time frame. Dishes need to be washed within the next hour because we need to get ready to go to blah 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 blah. Okay? So give them a time frame, but they're older. Follow through immediately. If your directive is ignored, follow through immediately and do it every time. That's consistency. That's consistency. Your children don't need a lecture, and they don't even need for you to yell. You can whisper. Trust me. You can whisper and be able to carry out the discipline. You can whisper and your children will listen. So discipline without yelling. There is a process here. We are made to have a power struggle to see who is the leader. And children do it with us all the time. We just as adults don't understand the process and we give in. So if that's what we do, the children are just waiting for you to give in. They're just waiting. They watch you enough to know what's going to happen next. Then what's going to happen next. Then nothing. And they can continue to do whatever they choose to do. If you want more strategies, just go to parenting911.org, set up a call with me, and we can do some coaching, because you can discipline without yelling, without cursing, without the power struggle being so intense, without feeling like you are a failure, without feeling like your children don't listen anymore and don't do anything you say. It's a process that you have to learn. They've already learned it, and they'll manipulate you with it if possible. Come on now. So go to parenting911.org, set up a call with me, and let's discuss some coaching. All right, that's for today. That's the session. Discipline without yelling. Our sponsors are most definitely Parenting 911. And I've just told you how to go to Parenting 911 and set up a call as needed. I've had parents to set up calls for their children who have children. I've had friends to set up calls for their friends. Come on now. But because we all have to help each other out in this journey. Let me say this too. Parenting 911 also encourages every parent and grandparent, journal the journey. Write things down. Special events, even sad ones, even upsetting ones. Journal this parenting journey, because you'll never have one just like it. All right. Our other sponsor is Emotions You Know. It is the game that's going viral already in 19 different languages and being translated in Braille. It is the game that helps all of us become emotionally aware. We get to tell our stories in an environment that is not hostile and not tense, where we can laugh and cry together as we need to. And as mothers and fathers and grandparents share their stories with the children and grandchildren, those children get to share stories too, and everybody listens to each other. What's happening when all of that occurs? Family bonding. Relationships are being built or restored, and families are coming together. So go to emotionsyouknow.com, emotionsyouKnow.com, and get your game so you and your family can start playing Emotions You Know. All right, that's it for today. I'm so glad you all are here. Please subscribe and like, tell your friends and family so they can come and join us, because we're just talking about parents, empowering parents. We're talking about rebuilding family relationships and protecting our future generation by generation. All right, I look to see you all at the next session. See you soon.